Okay. Uh, Good afternoon, hello, and namaste to all the eminent panel members out here. Namaste to all the eminent delegates out here. My name is Dr. Abhijit Sarkar, and I'm the country head corporate real estate administration and infrastructure for a company called Sharekhan by BNP Paribas. So today, the panel discussion, what we are going to have is on the subject changing role of facility manager, property manager, and the community manager. But if I have to say, the role of a facility manager has been already emerging and changing since long. When we started, many of us have started our career as in a backend as an admin and general services function, and gradually over a period of time, we have moved to this vertical of a facility management. So as time changed, we have been assigned with a new responsibility, new role, and into a more strategic, capabilities. Apparently today, COVID has definitely proved that admin is not only backbone function, but it has come to a frontline function. Although most of the organizations have already recognized admin and many of them have moved to boardroom, but today the opportunity has really come for the other organization to give a frontline position to admin and the facility management vertical. So crisis management is something not new for admin. COVID must be a crisis in one form, but admin has been managing these crises since ages. Whether it's a financial crisis, whether it's a natural catastrophe, and for admin, every day could be a crisis if the day you fail to manage things efficiently. You manage data center, the day you are not able to monitor the temperature, and in case the air condition is knocked off, your server falls down and the whole thing goes for a toss. So that can be a biggest disaster. So admin has to be prepared for the crisis throughout like a fighter. So, first of all, I would like to congratulate each and every admin and facility fraternity for demonstrating the epitome of greatest leadership during this period and ensuring that the BAU of all the organizations are managed in much efficient way, staying connected within the community and sharing the best practices. That is something which I have shown for the first time. So, without wasting much of time, while I move to this panel discussion, I would like to take few minutes of the session to invite my co-panelists and introduce themselves. So, Abhay, I would like to start off with you first.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I am Abhay Mahajan. I head the corporate infrastructure and services at Mahindra & Mahindra, based out of Mumbai. And my career is about 20 years in the Army and 8 years with M&M ever since. I thank you all for taking time out to be here.
Alok, to you.
Yeah, hi. So I am Alu. From education background, I'm a mechanical engineer with a total work experience of almost 26 years. Initial stint was with the Indian Air Force as an aircraft maintenance engineer for 10 years, and later on as in last 16 years in various different corporates. That includes a couple of different industries like IT, oil and gas, aviation. I'm currently working with the Group M Media that belongs to the media industry, and world's largest media investment company. My specialization is the change management, wherein I am very much big fan of raising question to the status quo and giving a new dimension to the various deliverables of admin department by bringing in standardization, consolidation, analytics, and visibility. Yeah, thanks.
Anup, to you.
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Anup Sharma. I head the group administration for ACG World. ACG World basically is a pharma manufacturing company. I have spent around 15 months here. Before this, I was with Jones Lang LaSalle JLL. And before that, with the Mumbai Metro, the Reliance Infra project. And before that, I had also spent short service in the army. Thank you so much.
Major Nitesh, to you now.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I am Major Nitesh Kala. I head the facilities and corporate services for Wycom 18. And I worked for 6 years in the Indian Army and about 13 in the corporate with different corporates and sectors like real estate, education, pharmaceuticals, FMCG, and currently with media and broadcasting. Thank you.
Manas.
Hi everyone, I am Manas. At present, I am with Adani Capital for last 3 years. So here there are 3 companies: Adani Capital, Adani Housing Finance, and Adani FinServ. I am heading the national functions for admin, facilities, infrastructure, procurement, safety. I have a keen interest in data analytics, so I'm learning as well as I'm working as a consultant for big data analytics platforms. And I'm learning blockchains and how the next, as big data already came into the FM, how the next sensational thing into the industry get into our industry. That's another part. And I love sales, so I look after certain sales functions also, and I head insurance brokerage business in Adani Capital. So trying to learn, and I thank everyone to take out time in this particular situations when we all are mitigating a multiple risk and VUCA scenario, and when health and safety become topmost priority and role of admin and facilities professionals at the topmost interest into the business continuity. Thanks everyone.
So finally to you, Sumit.
Hi everybody, I'm Sumit Sharma. I'm a graduate from National Defence Academy, Khadatwasla, and I did my master's from College of Estate Management, UK. I have a background with the armed forces. I served the infantry with special forces for close to 9 years. Post that, I moved to the corporate world, served with TCS, followed by Colt, Allianz, and now I work with Capgemini as head of global contracts for workplace services based out of India. I'm in Bangalore.
Thank you everyone for your kind information. So now I begin the session. Coming out to you, Abhay, I would like to understand your experience, if at all we discuss on the definition of so-called facility management.
Okay. So for me, I would say that, it's very simple. If I was to define the role of facility management or a facility manager, it would be actually to make sure that the building and the services are meeting the needs of its occupants. I think this is an oversimplified statement or a definition to a very complex job profile. And why I say that is that this is constantly changing. So this is dynamic in nature. And why I say it's dynamic in nature is because the needs of the occupants are constantly changing. And what we have in front of us today is that with the COVID situation, facility management or a facility manager's job has changed, or the needs of the occupants of the building who are coming to the building have changed. And therefore, the facility management's role has changed. Right? So I would take this simplified definition, but if I were to in fact go a step deeper, I would say that there are 5 major components to a facility management role. Firstly, it is about supporting the people. Secondly, it is about establishing processes. Third is, of course, the facilities upkeep and maintenance. Fourth is technology integration, which is, I think, getting a bigger and bigger role in facility management as the days pass. And the fifth is financial management. Now, I know that we can actually go down deeper, but any role that you define or any job profile that you, or any kind of task that you define can easily be put into one of these buckets. So that's my view of the facility management role.
Thank you so much. Sumit, I would like to have your opinion to your experience post-defense. What you felt and how you experienced the role of facility manager has emerged and changed drastically and constantly, and it is still changing.
Yes, thanks, Abhijit. In fact, since you related this question to my erstwhile service with the Army, I can relate very, very clearly that the facilities manager's role is very similar to that of the role of an armed forces person. Like it was said earlier as well, agility has been the hallmark to be able to manage an ever-changing scenario. Facility management by itself is a core service only for IPC companies like Jones Lang LaSalle, CBRE, ISS, and so on and so forth. So many companies like that. However, when it comes to a core business organization, the role of facility management primarily is to support the business objectives of the demand organization, which is the core organization. So from that perspective, the business scenario in the world is changing. Even under normal circumstances, there was a huge amount of globalization which happened, and there was a whole big shift of the whole business scenario world over. And of late, with this global pandemic, we see another shift once again in the role of facilities management. So when I compare the armed forces part of my work life and the facility manager part of my work life, I compare them to certain common threads, which is your ability to be able to be responsive to the emerging business situation. So that responsiveness is what keeps facilities managers and armed force managers tied to a common tie.
Thank you so much, Sumit. Now, coming to you, Anup, as we understood from both the speaker, that it is very important that the agility plays a very important role in the in the criteria of a facility manager. But facility manager are also required to take care of facility, and which includes the maintenance as well of the entire facility. So, what you feel is the role of a property manager? Is he a different than a property manager? Is a different than a facility manager, or what is your apprehension to that definition?
Yes. Hi. Good afternoon, Dr. Sarkar. The question reminds me, and I want to start with a dialogue from a movie, which says entertainment, entertainment, entertainment. So I think the role of a property manager, and it is being intermingly used with a facility manager, community manager. So I think the most basic role of a property manager is client servicing, client servicing, client servicing. I think the fulcrum or the pivot is customer centricity. If a property manager has performed this function, satisfying all the needs of this vibrant, dynamic situations, what the client requires, I think he has done his main role. However, there are many other important critical roles. So I think I would sum up basically with 3 S's. So those are services. So services not only includes the erstwhile and continuing housekeeping facilities, security, but many more things, including safety. Technology plays such an important part in any building, be it residential, commercial, co-working. So I think we have these advanced building these days with green building, reducing the carbon footprint. So focus on sustainability, focus on the building management system in terms of safety. So these 3 S's of services, sustainability, and safety. Apart from that, I think very, very important role is cost optimization. These days of so much of competitiveness, so much focus on cost to be under control, budget management, I think it's a very, very, very important role. And as brought out by previous panelists, I think a proactive approach during COVID times has really brought into forefront the role of the property managers. So I think be it a facility manager or a property manager, I think the roles are very, very important, very, very critical, and we have to be on our toes all the time.
Thank you so much, Anup. Coming to you, Major, we have seen, a slightly different version from Abhay, Sumit, and Anup, wherein we are able to understand that, the role of facility manager as well as the role of a property manager differs a bit in between. But don't you think, for the sake of more convenience at the end of the day, we have to serve the community, we have to serve the end customer. Is it not important to confine it to a single role who can take care of facility as well as a property? Or the best practice is to discriminate the two positions to ensure that we are able to do justice to our end customer? What is your take on that?
Good afternoon, everyone. So I feel there is a big difference between a FM and a PM, despite the perceived similarities between the two roles. While one deals with the building, The other deals with the people and processes in it. So facility management is an organization function that is responsible for integrating people and processes within the property in order to improve the quality of life and the overall productivity. And it includes repairs, energy management, landscaping, physical security, and the overall maintenance. But on the other hand, property management includes managing the property that is typically owned by another entity or person. Property managers work on behalf of the owners to preserve the property while also generating income for it. So the performance KPIs of the FM and PM are different. While the KPIs for the facility manager include the satisfaction level of occupants and the total cost of ownership, the KPIs for property managers include net operating income, the net yield, and the cash return. So the line is drawn basically on the oversight. Facility managers handle problems, the workers, and the operations, while the property managers are there to ensure that the building is safe, accommodating, and functional. So I believe that both the things or both the roles should be kept separate to ensure better efficiency and customer engagement. Thank you.
Thank you, Major. I will touch upon your point once again when we move to the next question. Manas, now coming to you, being a techno-savvy person, we have seen that, the role of admin gradually changed to facility, and gradually from in-facility, from soft to we have taken over technical services also. So apparently few of the services which we are falling under the IT domain has moved to the domain of admin, especially, the managing of a data center, wherein the role has been discriminated in two parts, where the server and hardwares are managed by IT and rest entire operation to keep the data center up and running rest with the facility managers. So now in most of the organization, we as a facility management team have to even execute an internal SLA, being a service provider to our IT team, to ensure that we are able to give them uninterrupted services to keep the business continuity. So I'm sure admin and fraternity management have taken due care to take over this responsibility. But as we see, it is getting, data centers are getting more complex. How you feel that, the facility managers are in a position to adapt this complexity and take over the change that is coming out with the complexity? What is your say to that?
Thank you. This is a nice question to share my own thought, whatever I have experienced till date. See, data center is a mission critical facilities, and all our pocket heavy people have moved from investing to the core commercial properties to the data center, keeping that's the new way of making money. So whenever something become a place where everyone want to create their own mission of earning money, this a place has always have 2 points. Number one is managing it technically, and number two, managing it as a management label. So as you have said, the data center have 2 parts. One part is dealt by IT and another part is dealt by facilities. The main concern of data center handling comes over there to create a clear role. Because that's such an emerging business, neither IT want to leave their grab from the particular role, or nor facilities want to leave their grip from that. So I'll be, as a FM professional, I'll be talking from our perspective, how a facility manager can improve themselves with the data center agile movement and make themselves fit for the future of the data center on today's date. So data center comes up with a 2 part. Number one is availability, and number two is the safety. The availability of data center is the main concern, where it's start making money and go up a part, where the main role comes from the facilities team. This comes from very critical electric equipment, including high voltage power supply to you all, uninterrupted power supply, and those part. And the second part is no accident. So that's come to the safety. So It's purely, mainly you may say that more into the tech focused facility the data center is. So initially there was a lot of hurdle, but on today's date, facility management gained attention, worldwide audience based. And when like things have come out, more job have shifted to the facility management into the data center businesses, the more focus from normal technology, it's shifted to energy saving, cost optimizing operations, and where the facility people are masters of all. And when we call data center become a business, there's no other options than using present facility people us to do. Now, what we have to do as a facility management people to capture this opportunity and rule the data center industry as a professionals. So data center become an area of focus, and the change of data center technologies and requirements are 5 years. Like every 5 years, the next generation comes in and it changes daily. So this one way paves way many opportunity for us. Other way paves in a strong challenge to learn, upgrade ourselves with the technical domain, and become more sustainable into the operations. Till date, FM manager into the technical domain, they have shown an excellent efficacy into managing this data center domain. But that's a place where more and more people has to get in. And for data center domain, if FM want to be successful, Sumit may support me in this, or he may put more input into this thing. The whole focus should be on the technical support, technical knowledge enhancement, and adapting the data center technologies and their need into our knowledge base and upgrading ourselves. Thank you.
Manas, I want to address you one more question in pretext to the data center, which I want to put forward to the audience over here. See, admin and facility is now largely even responsible for creating a facility. You know, as we expand, we have to develop, we have to create a new facility. And with the change in technology and with the emerging technology, we always adapt to new changes. But then there is always, fight between the IT and the FM. So now the most of the, challenging fact, what happens is, the rest of the domain is of an admin, whereas the workplace is concerned. But the moment you enter into the territory of data center, it becomes the area of war. So ideally, it has been a very predominant practice that IT always try to claim the credit of that, but then the entire support comes from admin. But and at the same time, when you create a data center, there is a lot of friction when you talk about the load assessment and the other infrastructure like air conditioning and other things. So when you create a data center, what you think should be a best strategy that an FM and the IT team should collaborate rather than conflicting and having a conflicting interest in that creation? How should they efficiently collaborate and work in the interest of the organization? Because sustainability is also a main part and measure of your energy is consumed by data center, because that's the most power hungry source of equipment. So what would you recommend to the the delegates out here?
So, Dr. Abhijit, actually, you have answered the queries in your query only itself. So, wherever you talk about collaborations, so collaborations causes every type of ambiguity whenever it's come to defining perfect KRA and KPIs. So, that can creating a nice collaborative environment and creating a good KRI and KPIs can solve the first part of it. The second part of it is when it comes to the sustainability. Like before it was says that sustainability is big companies' view, we should not think about it. And of late we come to know that not the big one, every one of us is actually hampering the sustainability part. So like we all gone through lockdown, and after 15 days of lockdown, the first news articles and news things what is to give us a good news. Yamuna become cleaner. Our Delhi, there is no pollution in Delhi. Mumbai pollution is all-time low. No death due to the air pollutions. So these are clear indication that sustainability is the need of today. It's not the need of tomorrow. In a data center environment, as the requirement is mainly into the energy, and it's a huge requirement of energy. Before, data centers part was shifted to the North Pole areas or the cold region, keeping that there will be less cooling requirement. But slowly and steadily, the equipments are less heat generating, and the sustainability into those areas become tougher and to support the technical services. So now data center become every household need for the all companies. So here, as a sustainability part from starting to end, the planning stage itself, we have to focus on three things. Number one, what is our target about that data center? Technical target, that what's the what the amount of availability index we have tried to create. We want to create 98%, 99%, 95%. As per that, the whole way the redundancy and everything being planned, and you're predicting, preventing maintenance, these all can be planned that way. And whenever it's come to the energy feed, so now people are focusing into more into the clean energies and green energies, keeping the data centers. Many data centers are into using solar energy on today's date. So the way before they were, we are using the cold regions, cold climate to cool our data center. Now we're using the hot regions, heat and solar light to power our data center. So it's a, you may say it's a balancing effect is happening in the term of using things. And in case of sustainability, it doesn't limit us in data center itself, like it's everywhere. So it's not only the energy, it's water, it's other material uses, everything, anything to everything. It's whichever hampering our environment, and we want to be here for long. And if we want our future generation to be alive the way we are living, and should not be every time like COVID bring in one new normal, and one new normal will be every day coming due to the environmental changes. So focus has to be shifted to the sustainability. I'll not talk more about sustainability into these sessions because it's a big point. But obviously, if we focus since beginning to less harm to our environment, that can create a culture of be protective to our Mother Earth, and that only can drive. So it's possible by using recycling method and planning things properly. That's I say in short, because it's a very big topic, so I don't want to into, because there are other part has to be answered. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Manas. Coming to you, Alok. We have been talking about the role of a facility manager, the role of a property manager, and we have been also talking about the constant emerging trends in the responsibility of a facility manager. How you think the future holds for the facility manager? Because there is a lot of myth, whether the role of facility manager will remain the same, whether it will exist, it will not exist, it will be replicated with some new nomenclature, and there are a lot of apprehension in people's mind. So what sort of clarity you would like to bring into this question, that what ideally the future holds for the facility managers?
Thanks, Dr. Vijay. So it's a very interesting question, and I do not see that there is a question mark on the role, whether it will exist or doesn't exist, will not exist, stuff like that. Definitely it is going to exist, and then which is with the much more enhanced importance and taking us in the center stage. So what we have been doing currently as in FM, as an FM role or the property manager role, so of late it's been evolved a lot. And when I'm saying off late, as in last couple of years, recent years, but when we talk about that, the recent event, which is basically that the pandemic situation, this has gone to a very next level. So in currently in this scenario and in going forward, when we talk about and we use the word as in the new normal. So in the new normal, everything what we had been doing is going to be there definitely for sure, and then so a lot of new things would be added. Like for example, so there is going to be a rise in automated facility assets. So like, I mean, we all talk about like automizing the doors, the soap dispensers, and to help organization reduce points of physical contact and then prevent illness spread. So that's going to be as in the one thing which is going to sustain for many years. Then talking about that the new equipment or maintenance on old equipment remains safety and efficient is what is going to be in the maintaining an accurate inventory of existing assets is going to be as in the one new role. Rise in adoption of organization-wide integrated as in workplace management system. So a lot of as in building automation systems and all. So a lot of places when we are going to see that it has to be with the less human intervention or less facilities team intervention, we are going to explore all these in the technology part and the integrated workplace management and in the building automation systems. So so all these is in the technology part. I would say that these are all the things which is definitely going to be there, and then more direct impact of this virus is going to be in a lot of organizations wherein this may add to as in one more additional role to us, which is the safety role. So we are in almost all the organizations, it's basically as an admin heads or the entire FM team is going to wear that the one more additional hat, which is the safety manager. So in addition to their existing duties, yeah. So from conducting from coronavirus testing to contact tracing and then various different virus tracing and all of those things. So that's going to be in one more role. And so this is something which is basically this situation is very unprecedented, wherein like we never anticipated that there could be as in such lockdown for so many months, and it's this is going to happen. And so we all worked on that, a lot of business continuity plans, but that was something like, okay, for a few days, for a few facilities, you move to a different facility, you look for as in the different workstations and blah blah. So there is an alternative to us in the project teams and stuff like that. But everything is standstill situation we never anticipated. So this is going to give us a very new dimension to all our working to the facilities team, as in how to deal with such kind of as in uncertainties to manage the business continuity. It's very different. So we have to even think of that once the office is open, it's going to be in the W-shaped recovery, is in office opening, closing, opening, closing. I mean, in Europe, I mean, it's very much anticipated that during this winter, there's going to be the second wave, which is going to come and which is again going to be of the same wavelength. So this corona thing or this pandemic thing is asking us to think very differently, wherein like the business continuity plans has to be so different is not going to be in the normal business continuity plan, which we have with a certain few things which we anticipate. Apart from that, a lot of good logistical planning and then communication is what is I see that is going to be. So in not many companies wherein like, I mean, when I'm talking about the logistics planning, which is basically people coming to office, goods movement, for the courier companies or the pharma companies, so anything wherein like there is a movement plan. So we need to actually look for a very different way of logistical planning and the communication of that. For sure, there is going to be the increased governance of, because again the direct impact of the virus. I see that the governance of the health and safety, be it to the humans, to the workforce, or the building maintenance systems, everything has to be as in the, it is basically, you need to look differently. So you have to actually do that. So in various companies wherein so you have to design different practices when it comes to the workstations designing or maintenance protocols or the operational policies. We talk about the vendor management system, visitor management system. So I'll give you as an example of my company. So on a daily basis, in my company only, and I'm talking about Mumbai, there are some almost as in the 500 visitors are there on a daily basis. Is it going to remain like that is a question. So if so, because if that is a need of the business, then it's not going to be as in the BAU for the visitor management system, which we were following. So there has to be some very different protocols and everything has to be as in the changed. So if the question is basically that, okay, so is it going to remain like this? I would say that it's the FM role is going to take us in the center stage, wherein we have to deal everything as in the holistically, and we're going to be as in the pivot point for the BAU for the entire business, wherein everyone is looking at us to mitigate all the threats. So it's going to be very evolved thing. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Alok, for this wonderful explanation. That precisely is to be considered as the coming KPIs for the facility managers. So now I would come to Sumit and Abhay jointly, as Anu spoke about the property manager, whereas Major Nitesh made it very clear that both the roles are different. So as Alok elaborated the KPIs for the facility manager post-COVID, what you think or what you feel could be the KPI for the property manager post-COVID? The question is to both of you. First, Sumit, I would like to hear you. Then I will move to Abhay for his opinion.
Sumit, you're on mute. I think you
just
give me a minute. Yourself.
Abhay, you could just take on.
No, we are able to hear you. Yeah.
You're audible, yeah.
Okay. Great. So, yeah. So I think what I basically see is a major change, which is coming our way when it comes to the KPIs of both FM as well as the property manager. And why that change is going to happen is because how the businesses are going to operate going forward in the new normal is going to change in a big manner. Let me explain this to you with a very simple example. If we see a little bar in front of us, which is the spectrum in which, say, FM and PM have to play in future within the management of properties, then what is happening is today what we have as a concept of workplace, which is very physical in nature, will have to give in to a lot of space to the virtual, place where we do work. So workplace by itself will not exist, but convert itself into something called a workspace. So going forward, the real estate or the property managers and the facilities managers' job largely will be around managing a workspace, which would be part virtual and which would be part physical. Physical for those works which cannot be done virtually and need certain production facilities or which are required to meet the human needs, like our need to collaborate, to talk to people, our social needs when we do business, so on and so forth, and virtual space where the efficient part of the business is going to happen. Now, this virtual space, which earlier was in a form of a physical space available in your offices as meeting rooms or meeting spaces, is now going to move slowly into a virtual space, like a space in which we are interacting right now. When all this happens, there are opportunities and there are threats for both PM and FM. The opportunities which are getting created is that a lot of virtual work or technological work is coming the way of both PM and FM. But the threat which is getting created here is that there's a requirement of reduction of the physical workspace, which will be available in future for the businesses to do business. And even if it is available, it will be well distributed in a hub and spoke model, because the virtual workspace will make sure that you are well connected. So there is going to be a very gradual long-term dissipation of this big city concept or super city concept, which was emerging as urban centers, where there'll be a redistribution of workspaces back into the rural, semi-rural areas, so on and so forth, world over, and within India at a very, very large pace, because our distribution of population is also as such, which automatically will, to an extent, bring down the risk of such large events where there's concentrated workforce and infrastructure in one place. The second thing which is likely to happen because of this is this hybrid environment will create a special kind of a skill which is required in addition to the skills which Abhay earlier mentioned for the role of a PM and an FM. And even Nilesh very specifically mentioned what are the skills required for a PM versus an FM. There is going to be an emphasis again on the role of communication, because in a virtual environment, when we are delivering, our ability to communicate both verbally, over videos, over links, in emails, in the form of documents which we make, presentations which we make, videos which we make and send and spread the word across, they are going to be really, really important in the life of both PM and FM. A lot of messaging will go digital, and that is where there is a skill which has to be picked up. It will also lead to a short time in a kind of a, ownership struggle between some other functions which are support functions within your organizations. Earlier, Abhijit and Manas very clearly brought out the kind of tussle which then happens between the management of a data center, between the facility management part of the data center management and the data center management part of the data center management. Similarly, there will be a new frontier which will open up for property and facilities manager, which will be a bit of a tussle between human resources management as to beyond health and safety, who will manage the wellness of the employees. So that's an opportunity as well as a threat. In a similar manner, when I go to the business continuity professionals, there will be again a tussle which is going to get created in the coming days between FM, PM, and business continuity managers as to who is responsible for the crisis management and who is responsible for the response to the crisis management. As long as we are able to identify these opportunities and threats which exist in front of us, I think opportunities outweigh which are coming our way as property and facilities managers. So communication skills, technological skills, and ability to adjust in an agile manner to let innovation happen in the new work environment, which is evolving in the new normal, are the key KPIs which have to be now written in forms of contracts, OLAs, SLAs, and so on and so forth for us as PMs and FMs, which is going to be our immediate task in the days to come. Abhay, over to you to add to.
Thanks, Sumit. I agree with you that the workplace is going to change. There is no doubt to that, and that's what all of us, I think, feel. I have a slight divergent view as to the extent that it is going to change, right? And where I'm coming from is that, look, all of us know that work from home has worked well during this period. But it has worked well also because there is a threat to step outside. Now, suppose there's a vaccine and we remove that threat. Will work from home work as well? And would people who are today working from home well want to continue that? And again, a corollary to this is that it's a well-known fact that mental health is taking a beating because of this lockdown and work from home situation. So would the companies actually want this to become the next problem? If you have, say a work from home policy constantly, right? So in my opinion, yes, there will be changes at work. And I think those have been explained wonderfully by Sumit and Alok. But there will be a drastic change. I don't see it after the vaccine is out, right? So, I mean, my specific thing is, would the KPIs of a property manager change? I'm not talking about the facility manager here. We've discussed enough of that. Now, when we say that will it change, I would say that what is it today? And today, I think Nitesh had brought it out pretty well, that it's all about occupancies, about revenues that you're generating per the property, the tenant churn ratio, all that. So will it change? I would not expect change. I think it will put more pressure on the property manager on the same KPIs. The only change that I see is that in case companies decide to vastly reduce corporate real estate costs, then there will be a number of buildings which actually are in the market. And I would add another KPI is generation of revenue from alternate use of these spaces. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So while we discussed about the facility manager, the property manager, there is an emerging term of a community manager also, which is being talked about in India. And few of the companies also have, certified community manager. As we see, this is a very known profile if we talk about Middle East and Europe. But what do you think, Manas, the future of community manager in India, whether it's going to really prevail, and if it is prevailing, whether it's going to be threat to the FM and PM fraternity, or it is going to be altogether a different vertical, and that has got nothing to do with the FM and PM? And in case it prevails, what is the advantages and disadvantages for this community?
So very first thing, I'll start with a definition of a community manager, and I'll start with a simple difference between community and facility. It's being simply says that whenever it's taken care by, when someone take care of a facilities, the physical infrastructure, services, as per the technical services, soft services, and all other, that will be created as a facility. Whenever we'll be taking care of the clients, customers, and their all needs, will be saying that we are taking care of the community. As Anup says, our role have become servicing client, and servicing client. So we are already at a whole working as community manager into whenever we are into a servicing the whole client, not as a particular service like I am a soft service provider or I am a technical service provider. But whenever we talk about as a group, like as a head Sir Khan, you have to cater everything. You have to take care of the physical part, or also you have to take care of the employee part also. For me, neither facility manager is going to sustain longer, and nor this community management going to sustain longer. Now it has come what I think will be the future, that is the happiness department. So a mix of facility and the occupier, both can be happy if we are able to create a happiness department rather than a community department or a facility department. So we have to think that how we'll be shifting our department as a happiness department, and will be called chief happiness officer of a company. And that will be the real gain as a service provider for us.
Okay. So now we have almost come to the concluding portion of this panel discussion. I would like to elaborate that we discuss in depth the role of FM, the prevailing role of FM, the role of PM, and the prevailing role of PM, and the emerging role of both the fraternity and what the community management is about. We have seen the technologies emerging, and we have seen how the smart cities, have performed during this course of pandemic. So we will definitely see the emphasis of government will more move toward the, enhancing the smart cities, and larger smarter cities would come into picture. But today, again, the challenge is we don't have much of the facility managers or the property managers who are really, technically so equipped that they should be able to take care of the smart cities to an extent, because we will see a lot of technology, new emerging technology coming into picture. So now to get the talent into this pool, I would like to have one individual opinion from all the eminent panelists. How would you act or react to get the talent pool into this vertical? So how will you sell the facility management? So starting from Abhay.
So, okay. So to all budding facility management professionals, I have only one thing to say. and that is, if you're a people's person and you don't want 2 days of your professional life to be the same, this is the profession for you.
Hello, you.
I think we need to be more active in spreading about the awareness of what facility team does. Where a lot of people, I mean, in the companies and our clients, when they're not aware of much about this. So it's an awareness program, and like IFMA and all, they need to step up and take as a larger role to create the awareness, and that's how this profession would take a center stage more active.
Anup, what's your view?
Yes, I think we are a very young economy, and Manas already mentioned it. I think he took my words. I was about to say happiness people manager, and that is the role we perform. So I think walk the extra mile. Got to be people's manager. Value creation. What extra you're giving to the client will definitely make you different. You will have a USP for yourself.
Major?
So FM at the moment, doctor is in a very evolving stage. I won't call it a nascent stage. I think there is awareness around if we talk about our profession, and the same keeps on growing. And I think the IFMA and RICS are there. They're doing a good job. And I think in the next 5 years, we're going to see many more facility management professionals coming out. My advice to the managers of the future would be to focus on value creation and not just cost savings. And if they can leverage technology, I think they'll be doing very well. Thank you.
So I'll be answering in a two-part. So the first part is the emotional part, and second part is the financial part. As our father of nation says, that if you want to see the change, be the change yourself. Services industry, especially facility management, is the place where we can see the eminent change into the developing countries, when we can drive sustainability, drive cleanliness, drive culture, drive happiness content, drive cost, and drive everything. Just as a small example I'll give, many people are writing that due to these COVID situations, many people fall sick, they are not able to work, someone got paralyzed, they are working 8 hours, 10 hours at the home comfort as the other way. But they have not forgot a very simple thing, that the home comfort is for certain time. People like Abhijit sir, Abhay sir, Major Nitesh, Anup sir, they have put their life in, and our seniors put their life into design the workspace where people can sustainably working for years, for hours without any health trouble. So it's a different ball game altogether. It's a game of professionals, so that can bring in more people in. The second thing is the money and earning part. Google may be very big, Facebook may be very big, Infosys may be very big, but everyone talks about at the last, not about the technology. Apple have a nice spaceship campus. Mysore Google campus is well known for all, and all watch. Yes, we'll go and see the campus once, even we're not able to work. So the real estate assets is still treated as a prestige, and it will be continue to be treated as a prestige in coming future. So if something is where we put our prestige in, that will be always having a value. And that's why the people who are taking care of it, they will be having the commercial and as an employment and respect value. So that way it is going to sustain, and it is going to be the future.
So Sumit, finally, your view to this?
So my view to and my little, I won't call it an advice, but based on my experience, if you guys are big fans of MS Dhoni, all the guys who are in this, who are hearing us, and you want your life to be something like MS Dhoni, then facilities management or real estate management is the right place for you, because you will get all opportunities right from the grassroots levels, at the most technical level, at the best possible platform to be able to display your skills and get recognized for it. So if you want to be MS Dhoni, be in facilities management or property management.
Thank you. That's so inspiring. And in wake of time, we can only take a single question, and then apparently we will have one-on-one questions with most of the panelists. So the question I have received is now I would like to divert it to Major Nitesh. How would a facility manager present his business case to the senior in the given COVID times with the escalated cost and the lack of manpower?
Thank you. Very interesting question. I would say that, of course, you're right that there are budget cuts in place, but there's also a large scope for saving. So if you see with the employees not coming to office, a lot of my overhead cost, and especially the biggest cost of all electricity is getting saved. So my electricity cost today is at 40%. So I feel for me it has become, and since the epidemic is of such a big proportion, it is easier for me to take a business case now to my CFO than it was earlier. So I would say that this is an opportunity which has come during the pandemic because of lower overhead costs and lower operating costs.
Is there any other view to this, Anup? Apart from what Major says, is there any other option you would like to explore?
No, I think Major Kala has rightly put it. So
I would like to just add one little point. I think what Major Kala said is absolutely right. But then some of you will have very tough CFOs you will go to. And for a CFO, saving coming from anywhere is no credit to anybody else but to the CFO and to the company. So they will never care for what Kala said. Some of them, I'm not saying all of them. You have to be very lucky if you have a CFO otherwise. So I think in addition to what Major Kala said, I would also like you to look at a perspective which is long-term, which is synced with the new normal of the business, how business is going to evolve, and how your investment in the business case is going to help that in the long run. If you give a long-run perspective, then only your business cases are going to fly in the next 2 years. We are in a situation similar to, say, 2006, 7, 8, where CFOs were actually the CEOs of the organizations. So I think if we can go back to that experience and try and understand how we did it then, probably we may get some answers in addition to what Major Nilesh just now said.
I'll just add a simple point into it because I report to CFO. So what I have done, I have not talked about cost cutting or something. I try to put a value for the cost, a value for the services and cost, and put across this. We have not stopped our offices being essential services. The one way when many of us is working in a restricting hours in office, our all services, food services and all being curtailed. So there is a point of saving. But the cost of health and safety management become very high. And we have to think about I'll just say Sairi and I say it always, अब दौलत जिंदगी महंगी और दौलत सस्ती होगी. So the top priority in all workspace business control BCP is a health and safety. So I have marketed the health and safety need of at the level at my branch level and office level, and I said that this will not come with the additional cost. So this will be coming with a cost from whatever I am saving from other part, which is not saving is unutilized. I say my electricity is not being utilized. So I have an unutilized cost lying there, and which I have to invest here to bring a sustainability into this particular scenario. Because that is another thing, because COVID will go, but our organization and employee have to sustain for the future. So we have to look at that part also.
So thank you so much. While we conclude this session with your Shairi, I would like to thank Abhay, Alok, Anup, Major Nitesh, Manas and Sumit for your crisp view and clarity on what the future really holds. And with this, I would end this session and thank you panelists for listening to us very patiently. We are in wake of the time. We may not be able to take the question, but we are available on chat. So you can direct your question to Rohan. He can share it with us and we will reply to your questions definitely. Thank you so much and all the best. Stay safe.
Thank you. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.